She didn't scream when the man went down. She didn't panic as blood pooled beneath the table. And she didn't wait for permission while everyone else stood frozen in shock inside a packed restaurant in Virginia Beach. A young woman in scrubs let her fork fall, pushed back her chair, and rushed toward a man struggling for his final breath. People watched. A few gasped. Most never moved from their seats. But she did. Her hands were already on his chest. His eyes rolled upward. His lips faded to blue. He was tall, broad-shouldered, built like a soldier. Yet in that moment, he looked small, like a child fighting death with nothing but instinct. Someone whispered, "He's a Navy SEAL." She didn't care who he was. She only saw a life slipping away, and she refused to let it go. Her name was Emily Hayes. She was 26 years old, 3 years into her nursing career. She had trained for emergencies, but never like this. No crash cart, no monitors, no team, only tile floors, wooden tables, and a silence louder than sirens. She began CPR, compressions, mouth-to-mouth, again and again. The man had survived a gunshot years earlier. He had lived through 5 deployments, and now he was dying in a family restaurant while everyone else stood stunned. Then he gasped. Once, twice, breath returned. His eyes fluttered open. Emily kept her hands steady, even as they finally began to shake. The ambulance arrived minutes later, but that wasn't what left the deepest mark. It was what happened the next morning. Emily barely slept that night. Her scrubs were still stained. The moment replayed in her mind over and over. Had she done enough? Could she have acted faster? She told no one, not even her neighbors. At 6:04 a.m., the doorbell rang. She answered in a sweatshirt and slippers, expecting a delivery. Instead, her porch was filled with uniforms. Not one, not 10, 200 soldier SEALs, Marines. Silent warriors stood shoulder to shoulder across her lawn and down the street. Some held their hats. Some stood at attention. And at the front stood the man she had saved. The SEAL stood tall. A bandage wrapped his neck. Tears filled his eyes. No one spoke at first. Then he stepped forward and said 5 words Emily would never forget. "You saved one of our own." Emily couldn't find her voice. She blinked through tears. The same hands that once trembled now rested quietly at her sides. The man, Chief Petty Officer Daniel Reeves, placed a folded American flag in her hands, along with a plaque. It read, "For valor in the face of silence, for acting when others froze, for saving a soldier without needing to know his name." Emily had grown up in a military town. Her father served in the army. Her brother, gone too young, had worn a uniform before a roadside bomb took everything. She had carried that grief quietly for years. Maybe that's why she didn't hesitate, because in every wounded man, she still saw her brother. And this time, she got to save one. The press never came. No cameras, no headlines, only quiet respect as the soldiers saluted her, one by one. Something changed. Emily no longer felt like just a nurse. She felt seen, not because she wanted recognition, but because someone remembered. "Not all heroes wear uniforms," the SEAL said as he gently hugged her, "but you carry the same weight." There were no medals, no speeches, just 200 silent thank yous from people who had seen war and recognized courage standing in a hoodie on a front porch. Courage doesn't always roar. Emily later told a small group of nursing students, "Sometimes it's just hands doing the right thing when no one else will." And that's the story of a young nurse. One moment of panic, one lawn filled with silent gratitude. Because sometimes the world remembers those who never asked to be remembered. If you're still reading, tell us where you're watching from. Have you ever seen a quiet act of bravery? Share your thoughts below.